What's happening, people? It's your man, Patrick the Game Changer Jackson here, back with another episode of He Said, She Said. We're going to have another great conversation here for you all, and we're going to be kicking things off real hot and heavy. Hope you guys had a great Black History weekend. I know this is the last weekend of Black History. Definitely had a lot of fun at the Black History Parade. I know there's a lot of activities and things going on in the city and across the country of celebrating blackness. And so we want to make sure that you are doing things all throughout the year, not just in February, and making sure that you're doing that as well. It's a lot of great events that will be coming up. Of course, the movie that we had, the Nickel Boys, that was coming up, it is absolutely sold out. There are no more tickets for the event for you guys to be able to access. I know it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great movie and discussion, and then there'll be a panel discussion right after that movie. So we're definitely excited about that. We'll be hitting a few schools, have a couple of other speaking engagements that I'll be at. I'll try to post some of those things as much as I can as those things come to me. But all the time, I'm not able to put everything on social media. But we also have our NAACP awards coming up. Make sure you get those tickets. They're going extremely fast. I can promise you this. It sells out every year. People try to hit up to get tickets, and it will be sold out. I'm sure we probably won't have any more tickets by the beginning of March. So make sure that you grab those tickets now as they are going extremely fast. And then also we're gonna have the after party after, so people can party with the awardees and have some fun as well. So those tickets will be up for folks the beginning of March. So you'll be able to grab those tickets as well. So we're gonna have a great time with that. But stay locked in with everything that is going on. Got a lot of great stuff that's coming up. Also, a youth conference that'll be coming up in March. It's going to be Earth Day that I'll be emceeing with a couple of other events that'll be coming up. So go ahead and stay locked in. We're also going to be giving away some free comedy show tickets next week to the CMAC production, that comedy show that'll be coming up. So make sure y'all stay locked in as we'll be having some more game changer giveaways. And so we're going to get locked in into this conversation in just a moment. We'll be right back. What's up, good people? What's up, good people? We are back, and we're about to have another conversation. He said, she said. Go ahead and go ahead and unmute your mic real quick as you guys going to introduce yourself before we get started in this conversation. We're going to have T, Persevering Jen, and then Monty. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, Bakersfield. My name is T. Franklin. It's a pleasure to join you tonight, and I give my greetings to Patrick, Monty, and Jen.
Hello, everyone. I am Persevering Jen. You guys know me as Jen. And yeah, tap in with me.
And I'm Monty C. Wilson, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook under Monty C. Wilson. And I enjoy talking to you people, and I'm gonna enjoy these topics.
All right, we're about to go in, man. We ain't going to delay the conversations way too long now. We have a video to show y'all Mother Speaks out on her son's first date. We're gonna talk about if she's in the right, if she's in the wrong, what is going on right now in this day and age of dating, especially when it comes to young people? Is this great advice? Is it something that people should be looking out for? Is it a conversation that we should be having with our kids, and especially mothers with their folks with their kids, from sons to daughters? So it's gonna be interesting take, that is for sure, as we look at this. So we're gonna check this out. Y'all tell us what you think as y'all listen to what this mama had to say. Check it out.
About the first restaurant he gonna take you to. What's the last restaurant your daddy took you to? Because you shouldn't be coming to him to be your daddy. That's not his role. It's a first date. I want y'all to bring that down to level 3. Y'all way on 10 with this foolishness and want to embarrass somebody. My second question is, have you ever been anywhere? Where do you take yourself? Let me see your checkbook registry. Let me log into your bank account and see what you feed yourself on a regular basis. Where do you take yourself for lunch or dinner? That's the next question I want you to answer. And then the third thing about this, come on back over here, because I need you to understand what time it is. A real lady is going to be there for the purpose of what it's for. She's not looking for food because she's hungry that she can't afford so she can take it to go and get a doggy bag. I'm going to wrap this up to go. Why? You ain't going to have food tomorrow? That's a poverty mindset. So a first date, again, is to get to know the person, correct, to hang out, have fun. Y'all should be laughing and talking. It don't need to be a steakhouse. We don't even know if you worth a steak. You might just be worth a piece of bread. So ladies, young ladies, grow up. Get some maturity about yourself. Y'all buying titties, lashes, booties, and everything else. And you want somebody else to feed you. Save your money, stop buying your body, and put it to the side so you can have some food. That's not a man's responsibility. Now, once you dating a man, and once he get to know you, and y'all vibing, and he want to take you to a nice restaurant, guess what that means? You well deserving of that. He think enough about you to make a reservation. But some of you don't have reservations about your mouth. You talk bad, you disrespectful, you ghetto, you trifling, you don't have an income that substantiates what you want this man to do. You don't reserve being lazy. You full out lazy. You have no reservations on that. But you want the men to make a reservation for a restaurant, but you don't reserve what's between your legs. You passing it out like candy. You rated E for everybody.
Oh my, all righty, all right.
Now,
It's a lot to unpack.
that's a whole lot to unpack. Now, I'm gonna allow y'all to give y'all perspectives, and then I'll come and give some commentary.
Who wants to go first on this one?
You can go first, Monty.
No, I don't have to go first. I mean, I will. Okay, like I said, it's a lot to unpack. I mean, obviously, there's the topic of let's just go with the basic topic of apparently somebody probably tried to clown him. I think if you could read between the lines, because they wanted to go to somewhere expensive on the first date, wanted him to make a reservation somewhere expensive, and it sounds like they got upset and tried to clown him for either not doing it or maybe not having the money to do it. We don't know. And his mom decided to get online and go off. Let's just talk about first, should you be going on a first date? And they look pretty young. So obviously somebody was trying to get him to go to something that was well out of his budget. Should that be the first date where you just demand like, okay, I want to go to Ruth Chris or somewhere expensive where he gonna spend $200-300 or whatever it is on dinner for the first date? And like the mom said, she may not even be worth a piece of bread. Like she feels like they should go somewhere and get to know each other first, and then you earn that sort of thing. Whereas she's implying that women of today, these young women of today, are expecting that right out the gate.
I think this generation is doing that right out the gate, to be honest. We created opportunities to see each other when we were like in the 90s. You'd go walking, you meet them wherever they'll be, you hope you can talk. If we didn't go out to dinner, I know people who they do go to fancy restaurants, they go to the rooftop, college students, they spend a lot of money on first dates. I didn't. We didn't have that type of money. But like she said, you're paying for BBLs, you're paying for this and that. It's these kids now, they get in the bag somehow. Maybe they're entrepreneurs, maybe they're doing things on the internet. I don't know. But a lot of first dates are like that.
Go ahead.
There is a lot to unpack because I have so many questions. So many questions. How old are they? That's the first question, because I mean, well, she mentioned BBLs and things like that, so I would assume that they are of age. So, but does his mom, I mean, I understand that is his mother, but at a certain age, yeah, you looking out for your son, but certain things shouldn't be spoken of. But at the end of the day, like you said, they are doing this. They're taking advantage of men. I've seen multiple articles and posts about females basically wanting a man to pay for everything and getting mad because he took her out to the Cheesecake Factory instead of taking her out to an expensive restaurant. So there are a lot of women that are taking advantage of men in these times. But how many dates have they been on? Has this happened multiple times? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Like a lot of things. I have so many questions.
It sounds like they haven't been on any dates. That's her whole point. That
so
shouldn't
this
be
is
the first date.
Oh, wow.
Whoever was asking for all this stuff was asking for this to be the first date.
Oh, wow.
That was her whole point.
So, well, you doing all this on the first day. I do believe, yeah, you got to work your way up to that. I feel like, don't splurge on the first date. Take her out to somewhere small and get to know her. You know what I'm saying? You can, I mean, and if she feel like that she can't be taken out to somewhere small, then that's your answer right there. I feel like cut her off, because you telling a lot about yourself. It's not about the money. It's about, trying to get to know this person, from jump.
Yeah, and it has gotten out of hand, and it's not just the younger generation; it's the older one also. This is something that he's going to have to deal with the rest of his life, the rest of his dating life. Something similar to this happens. Somebody expecting to go somewhere expensive, and it may not even be somebody demanding it. It just sometimes it's not someone demanding it like that. Sometimes it's just like, whatever that person is, you can tell that, okay, I need to take her somewhere nice, as opposed to what we did back in the day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the culture is just raising the bar, and getting it to a high enough level to where it's just at the rooftop. So I don't know if this is something that his mom could just make a speech and fix. Is something that she can instill in him to like be on the lookout for that, not to be a sucker. Now that's good, but they didn't have to put it online. Why they ended up online, I don't know. But this is a speech that she could have gave him, and hope that he, figures it out on his own. But that's something he's gonna have to deal with when he's old. He could be 50-something years old and still feel like he needs to take somebody out to someone expensive, or somebody might be asking to go somewhere expensive, or pull the whole, they don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory thing on him later. So it's not something that's just because he's young.
Well, I agree. I just feel like she shouldn't have put him on blast like that. That was something that she did not have to like stream and say, look, let me just let everybody know that this is what I want my son to do. That's something behind closed doors that you tell your son. He was embarrassed. You can tell he was highly embarrassed about that. So that wasn't called for. That was not called for.
I
Now
thought,
that young man,
yeah.
now that young man, right? That young man, I think I looked at it from a couple different perspectives. One is that the mom was not only putting it out there to, I guess, empower him in some type of way, but also to school some of these other young cats, some of his friends, and etc. Like this ain't what time it is, because you're only exposed in understanding of what something is by what you had conversations about. And so if that's kind of been the what maybe a lot of these young men are seeing and what they're going through, and she's like, oh, this is what my son has to go through. No, let's kind of put this on blast and make sure that this ain't something, because she didn't name the young lady. She didn't name, it wasn't nothing specific to anybody, and she kind of generalized the conversation. So I think if we look at it from that perspective, she was kind of putting some folks on game on what's to come. Like, hey man, like this ain't cool. You should have value within yourself, young man, young lady. You should have value within yourself. With all this stuff that you're hearing from other people on the internet and stuff like that, this ain't what it's about. You got to value yourself enough to have a conversation with a young man. Don't allow a young man to value you based on him taking you to a certain expensive steakhouse. Get to know him. Young man, don't put yourself in a position to where now you being categorized as a simp now. Every chick is using you from a perspective. So although it could have embarrassed him to a degree, but it seemed like he was probably somewhere around like a college student is what it kind of looked like a young man that's in college, trying to find his way. And these kids ain't got money like that. And if it's a chick that, he really likes, then it's kind of like, she trying to put you out, like she trying to play games with you. And if she ain't, she just been taught wrong. And so she got to kind of learn how to move accordingly.
Yeah, I don't think he was. And I don't really think he was that embarrassed. To be honest with you, looking at his body language, he seemed like a confident young man. But the mama is very dominant in his life. We could tell that for sure.
Yeah.
But he didn't seem that. But this is not the first time she done gone off in front of him. Okay, we know that. He didn't seem too embarrassed while he was standing there. He was laughing at a lot of it. And at the end, you see he even stepped over and just shut her off at the, finally he went, whoa, 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 and shut her off. So he didn't seem like a timid young man, but at the same time, it would have been better if she would just told him offline. But you're right, she was she was going out there preaching to the world. She was screaming from the highest mountaintop at that moment. So she had a lot to say, and she had a lot of frustration, and she was obviously up on what's going on today because she talked about BBLs. She talked about a lot of stuff that these young women are out there doing. You know what I mean? So she's been watching. She ain't been, just in church meetings her all day long. She been out there watching what's going on. She knows what's going on in the world today, and she was able to speak on it.
When I watched it, I thought she was very overbearing. And, we question as women, why our men have a hard time with their communication skills and their emotional intelligence and how to speak to us. And I think that, like you said, he was way too comfortable with this. So she was talking at him instead of just explaining, okay, this is what happens. And I was also wondering if she was kind of taking out her insecurities, using this as an opportunity to kind of project her insecurities onto him in terms of what man has asked you to go out to dinner? When was the last time you were taken out? When was the last time someone spent money on you? It just made me I questioned that as a mother of a son, just what she's teaching him about women, because it didn't say there are some girls who deserve this because you have a long-term relationship. It was more so like she's everywhere. Well,
yes, she did.
But she said she's everywhere with the E. So
she said once you get to know a person and you have a few dates and stuff, then it's like, now are you deserving of this? Not you're demanding something of that caliber on the first date. Like what is it about you? Yeah, that's what she said.
That was her biggest point at being the first date. The biggest point was that it was too early. Because she said, and I will repeat, who knows if you're worth a steak dinner, you might not even be worth a piece of bread.
Well,
that's the part that line stood out the most.
You never know that. I mean, you never know that as a man. I don't know. I'm not a man. You never know that when you take a young lady out, what she's worth. right? Until you've gotten
Yeah,
to know her.
and neither person is worth nothing until
Right.
y'all get to know each other. So
Well, because
if
that's their representative. So really, you're getting to know somebody's representative, maybe even the first 3 months. You really don't know who you have until after that time.
Okay,
And
you don't. But let me ask you this question: if we're gonna go out on our first date, and I said, hey, you know, where you want to go? What should we do? You know how we're
right.
talking, and
Yeah.
you blurt out some $300-400 dinner, some sort of like that. That's where you want to go first. Is that okay, or should you, as a woman, or or should both sides be in agreement that maybe we should go for a cup of coffee, or maybe we don't really know each other, so I shouldn't be trying to milk this dude out of $300 on the first night when we don't even know each other. And if you
I
notice
like
what
to be in agreement.
and you know
Wait,
what she
Monty,
was
that's
saying,
a lot of questions.
and what she was saying at the beginning is that you basically can be using him for a meal.
Okay. Okay.
I
Well,
like to be in
earlier,
agreement though. Like
yeah,
for
but
me, I like
earlier,
to be in
but
agreement.
I'm sorry, Jan, but Monty, you said earlier that there were some women who you could look at and tell you have to take them someplace better, different, bigger, better than I
Okay,
don't know the words you use
I tell you
exactly, but
exactly
you
what
did
I'm
say
telling you.
there was a difference. Some women, you have to take them out to a fancy restaurant, right?
Well, no, that's not what I said.
mm-mm.
I said that if I'm dating somebody and she's some sort of obviously some sort of executive or something like that, I'm not going to take her to the same place. I'm going to take somebody that's not. I mean, you're going to look, or at least I'm thinking this person has more taste, or higher or more expensive taste than this other person.
Really? Oh, really?
Yeah, you mean to tell me that you can't
Really?
look at people and say that they have a more expensive taste?
No,
Looks
I
could
would
be
never.
deceiving.
I would
Looks
never
could
So
be
do that.
deceiving.
No.
Oh
so
well, okay, whatever.
Looks
so
could be
the
deceiving.
mom,
Because you're not paying for nothing. That you're a woman. You don't want it. You don't have to.
So if you don't have a job, you deserve what? McDonald's?
No, I said some people have a more expensive taste. So I'm saying is the bar is getting higher. The bar is getting raised higher and higher.
and
How you
that's
know
something
they
that
got
the mom pointed
taste
out, right?
just that though?
What you
That was
say?
something the mom pointed out. So she said, well, let's look at where you go to eat at.
Yeah.
Let's look at where you go to eat out on a regular basis, where you go to lunch, where you go to dinner, where has your daddy taking you? Like what? Let's look at those things. If that's your
Right.
norm, like if you going to Ruth's Chris every evening, and you know what I mean, you going to those places like that, you
Yeah.
know, 4 or 5 times out the week, that's your caliber of eating. But if you only doing that when a guy is taking you out, then that's not your
Yeah.
caliber of eating.
And that's what I'm talking about. If I ran into, let's say I ran into I don't know, Halle Berry or somebody, somebody
Right.
that's a star.
You know she's hitting those places every night.
And she's like, hey, let's go out. Hey, Monty, let's go out and woo, just discuss this next film or something like that. You think I'm gonna take her to to
The
Chipotle?
Cheesecake
you
Factory.
know what I'm saying? You don't think I'm looking at her thinking like, okay, she's obviously used to something else. I'm gonna splurge a little bit more on that, whatever that meeting is. And this might not even
That's
be a date.
different.
It's just a meeting. That's what my point is. And that's
Yeah.
why the mom was saying is, where do you normally go? You don't normally go to nothing like that. So why do he need to take you? So she's like, you trying to springboard, use my son as a springboard, as a trampoline to get into this place that you couldn't get in yourself. That's what she's mad at.
I would love to know what happened before this. Because how does she know those things?
What do you mean how she knows? So obviously
How
she
she
did
know
know.
the chick he dating? If
Yeah.
my son is
Is this
dating
the
a chick,
first? It's the first date.
I know.
I
But
took
if my son is communicating with a chick, and I'm advising my son, and my son is communicating with a chick, and the chick was like, "Yo, Dad, she talking about she want me to take her to Ruth's Chris," and then I go look at her profile, and I go look at what she got going on. I'm like, man, she ain't no Ruth's Chris chick. Like, you gonna be able to tell if this, like, who is your people? Like, who is what is at what level? You in college? How are you going to Ruth Chris every night? Like what? Like that's easy to tell. That's not hard to tell if
yeah.
somebody is like if that's. But and then I'm gonna tell them like this. Well, if that's what she wants, she out of your league.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But here's
Like if that's
another
what she desires, she out of your
yeah.
league.
But
It's
here's
true.
another thing, though. You could go to Cheesecake Factory, right? And they
Yeah.
could go. You can go to Cheesecake Factory where you think it's nice and safe, and they can order drinks back to back to back to back. And next thing you know, you should have
It's
went to. You
$500.
might as well have. They ordering drinks back to back to back, and they ordering double appetizers and stuff like that. And it could get up high too. And nobody asked, how much money I make or how much money in my pocket. They don't ask. They started ordering. What that could happen. So is that
Jen,
okay?
do you
You
think
got to
that
cut them off.
women do that? Like, will we look at a man when we're about to date, look through his profile and say, what type of man is this and where should I ask him to take me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
bet y'all
mean,
do.
I do my research. I'm going to do my research. I mean, I think it's best for a woman to do her research, whether it's looking, I mean, in these days, that's how we do our research. We looking through profiles and stuff. We're going to do our homework. So yeah, I'm going to look through your profile and I'm definitely going to see what type of man that you are first. But on the date thing, if I'm going to take him out and yes, and I'm using my money, heck yeah, I want to know, I want to see. But to be honest, that still could be deceiving to me. It could be deceiving,
The
because
profile is set up so you can look at
that's my thing. Like
Right.
with these profiles, people put whatever they want on these profiles. They can put
Right.
whatever they want. But until you sit down and you converse with this person, until you know this person firsthand, you're not going to know who this person is and what they desire and where to take them to. It's our job to sit down and converse with them and have that one-on-one and say, okay, where would you like to go? Or what could we communicate on in agreement on going somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, these Facebooks is fake. These IGs is fake. You know what I'm saying? I know some broke people out there that be out here using IG to make themselves look like they, then went world class and travel here and they all AI generated photos. When you meet this person, they ain't got the pot and window to throw it out of. You hear me?
Yeah.
But that
Ain't
goes.
got
But that goes
what?
back to what she's saying is we got to get to know each other first before we go there.
Right.
Now, if you got it, what did Lil Wayne say? Tricking ain't tricking if you got
It
it.
ain't.
You got it.
It ain't
If you
tricking
got
if you
It
got
ain't
it.
tricking if you got
It
it.
ain't tricking if you got it.
If you
Yeah.
got Ruth Chris
And
money,
if I
and you
want to
go,
spend it on you, even if I got it, do I want to spend it on you?
right?
No, for real.
But if you got it, if you just tricking money off, you got the money to trick off. Then that's a little bit different. But if it's gonna
Right.
hurt you a little bit,
Nah,
if it's
forget
gonna hurt
that.
you a little bit to go to Ruth Chris, or
It's
if you could just sit there and be like, man, I could have spent this money somewhere else, you shouldn't be there.
a college student at that, like that's a no. Like no.
Yeah, they too young, man. Like
They too
even
young.
grown folks, we're making dating way more complicated than what it is.
I'm
Like
just
it
saying
literally
because
should be something small and simple. That should be the standard of. I think anybody getting to know each other. I've seen people that you can have a fluid amount of money that don't mean anything. How are you going to get to know the person? You want to go on the cruise and the trip, and you trying to impress people, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna take you on this lavish trip or whatever."
Yeah.
Like on one of the Pop the Balloons, the dude was like, "Hey, you ever been on a private jet?" She was like, "No." He's like, "You want to find out with me?" She was like, "No." Like
right.
that didn't impress her.
Yeah.
That didn't impress her though. Like she was looking more. She was wanting to. She didn't like him as a personality. And so when when people try to flaunt their lifestyle and stuff, and then like women are turned off by that. And so he didn't end up matching with nobody on the show.
Right.
Although he was trying to showcase himself as this guy
Right.
that had this money. But you know what I mean? Like it can if real women are looking for substance. If you're a real woman, you're looking for more of substance, then because that part should come with it. But what type of personality do you have and all that type of stuff? And they're putting the cart before the horse, and then all of a sudden you finding out, like the IG stuff, like they end up finding out that guy it was all fake. He was acting like he was in helicopters and all on IG and stuff, acting fake, doing all
Yeah.
this fake stuff. So
They got
you just never
classes.
know.
They got courses you can pay for, like influencer courses. And part of the course, you get to take a picture in front of a Benz. You get to take a picture in front of a Rolls Royce. You get to take a picture in front of a jet plane, a private jet, and stuff like that.
Right.
And then, yeah, so basically they're just building you to look like an influencer or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's part
said.
of
Go to the park. Go to the
He
park.
said they need to go to the park and walk around for free.
Exactly. Girl,
Yeah.
Keisha, yes. For free.
I mean,
Get
even
a
on
picnic basket or something. Look. Put a blanket down.
But I've even had before where somebody asked me, like, if we weren't even dating, right? And they were asking like to do something, and it may not even been that expensive, but it was like something out of town or whatever. Like, so like going to a concert or some sort of event. Oh, let's go out to lunch or something out of town or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, well, an out of town date is kind of weird if we don't even know if we vibe yet. You know what I mean? Like, we should do
Makes no
something.
sense.
Yeah,
Makes no sense.
I don't want to go. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
And
that
I
could
would
be a
always
miserable
say,
trip.
I would always be like, eh.
That could be a
'Cause
miserable trip.
yeah, the car ride along. Before we get to the grapevine, I could be like, oh man, this ain't even cool.
Then
Before
you
we get
talk
to the
about how
grapevine.
long, and then you know how I am. You know what I mean? How long it's gonna be? Listen, you talking about if something gonna crack, it got to crack.
You stuck in the car. So
Yeah.
what's a question to the panel? What do you think is a good first date for people our age and or people his age? So college students, what's a good date? Good first date. What would you consider?
You talking
Oh,
about a dollar amount?
No, not
oh
dollar
no,
amount.
just like
Where would you go? Like Patrick, if you were to take somebody on a first date, what's a good first date in your opinion for someone our age?
this. So for me, it's a conversation. Initially, it's trying to find out what the person likes, their interests, getting to know what what the things that they like to do, places they like to go, whether it's their food items and stuff like that. And I you would typically want to just go sit down, something to eat, to where you can talk. You don't really want to do like a movies. You can't have a conversation at the movies, right?
Mhm.
You can't get to know the person. You just sitting there watching movies loud, you know what I mean? That type of stuff. You don't really I don't believe in like going to a club or nothing like that, to where it's like super loud. Again, you can't get to know the person. You're just going out. If you're gonna have dinner and then like I would say like maybe try to find a lounge, like a little kickback spot where it's like maybe soft jazz music, something like that, then you can have a more intimate conversation. Then I think that could be something for our age. If you're talking about somebody that's younger, um, man, I think they can make it a lot more complicated. When you're younger, y'all can go to anything. Like it's usually in college, you have all these different type of functions that's happening. Typically for free, you could take them somewhere, and y'all can be cut off on the side somewhere, getting to know each other. A lot of times you ain't got to come out of pocket because when you're a college student, most of the time you're struggling. You know what I mean? Like you're in school, you may have a little side job or something like that. That's the average college student. That's not. You got a few of them that are kind of outliers that are like influencers and stuff like that, or parents got some money, but that's far and few in between. But I would think that the average young person could typically do something very, very simple like that.
Yeah, they probably should be like at Applebee's or something. You know what I'm saying? Applebee's, get
Hmm.
a 2 for 2 or
Get a
two
two
for
for
20,
two.
2 for 20, or now I think it's two. They got the 2 for 20, 2 for 25. Get
Yes.
you one of them.
Good.
If you want to splurge, maybe hit what's that place out there? What's the place out there? California Pizza Kitchen and one of them. You know what I'm saying out there. You know, that's something like that for college. But as far as our age, I agree what he said. What Patrick said. Get to know each other a little bit first, and dinner. Definitely dinner. Dinner is the first date. Now, going to somewhere outlandishly expensive, I don't know. Maybe depends on how well that first couple of conversations go. But yeah, I take it from this video because the woman kept saying reservations. So I'm thinking that the woman, the girl was telling this boy to he needs
Make
to make some
reservations for her.
place, go to a place that needed reservations. Like it was somewhere expensive that needed reservations.
Right.
And maybe I don't know if he maybe asked the mom, should what's up with this and blah blah blah, or maybe he asked the mom for money or whatever. I don't know what it was, but the mom went off. So
She
I
just said
and
go to the library.
yeah, go to the library.
Go to Starbucks. Go somewhere where
Yeah,
y'all can talk.
Starbucks.
Yeah, where you can
Yeah,
talk.
Starbucks cool spot.
It
Get your
is a
get your
cool
little
spot.
macchiato, caramel
What
macchiato real quick.
caramel macchiato venti with a little bit of oat milk in there. Stop playing.
Yeah. In most cases, you would have already had before you go on a date. You should have already had some sort of conversation though, right?
God, shots fired. Boom, boom, boom.
He said you're a whole big movie producer, Monty. Go ahead. You expected to splurge.
Shots fired. They fired.
Okay. No.
He said, no.
No. I didn't say how much I'm gonna spend. I didn't say how much I'm gonna spend. I didn't say how much that I would, and I wouldn't say how much I
Monty
wouldn't.
said he gonna take you to BJ's.
Cause hey,
Shoot, F that.
I tell you
F
this.
that.
Hey, I done been to BJ's.
Sometimes.
Hey, put it this way: I done been to BJ's and walked
It's
out
got
mad.
alcohol there. I said it's alcohol there, bro.
I've been to BJ's and walked out mad.
Yeah,
I'll tell
BJ
you
got
that.
alcohol, man.
Walked
That's
out like,
that,
man,
that
what
could
the
be a
hell
bad
just happened?
situation.
So it's not the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the
not the
person,
place.
man.
And
It's the person.
there's only been one time where I felt like a sucker. I felt like a sucker one time. And I think about that, like, I still, every now and then I go, every time I see this person's picture across on my timeline or whatever, I'll be like,
Got
felt
me.
like a sucker. Sucker.
Got him.
Felt like a sucker, that's all. I ain't gonna go into too many details. And then we had a good time. We did have a good time. It was just the amount. The amount was like, man.
Yeah, mom be killing.
Not the amount at
Mama.
BJ's.
I have two. I keep telling people this. I have not the BJ's one.
Oh,
This was not BJ's. You
Keisha
can't
said
spend
play
spend this
the
much
clip.
at BJ's. I don't even know if it's possible. But I have two. I keep telling people this, and I have two daughters in college, and they need money. Like it's just out of nowhere. It could be
All the
tomorrow.
time.
It could be whatever. and
All
I
the
have
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
And I
if
got
I
one
go
in
to if I
college,
go to
so yeah.
BJ's and spend like $250 or something like that, in my mind I can afford the $250, but in my mind I'm like, man, what if my daughter hits me up for $250, 2 days later or something like that? That's $250 I could have gave to my daughter. I think that that sort of thing. But that's just being a father that's involved in her daughter's college expenses, but. It wasn't necessarily the $250. It was just the thought of like that wasn't very well spent.
And at the same time, man, like us having daughters and kids, right? So, and then like you having girls in college. We have girls that's in high school, about to go to college, and so as a father, man, I would be upset if my daughter was like clearly like crazy demanding that guy take her to a reservation spot on the first date,
Yeah.
like just to get to know. You know what I mean? Like you ain't like what type of value are you putting into yourself to like just get to know the person? Are you having multiple conversations? I understand. I want you to have a high value, but your personality and who you are has to be number one.
Yeah, we're not raising
Yeah.
daughters like that, so it would be
Yeah.
like a shocker. It would be a shocker.
It'd be a
that
shock.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a shock.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
my daughter is in college right now, and not only is she in college, but she has a on college job. Like she has a job on the college site. So, and she's in her studies 24/7. So that would definitely be a shocker to me. It would. Somebody trying to take her out to an expensive restaurant, and if the roles was reversed, I would think like, okay, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to get from you? You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get something else besides that meal happening.
Yeah.
Because yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
That's a good
My
point.
daughter's in college, and that's what I tell her too. Be careful.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You mean if the guy is trying to spend a lot of money on it? Or
Well,
I don't
our
understand.
parents, like what my mother would tell me is, be careful, because when a man takes you out to an expensive restaurant like that and you have
It's
to make a
ulterior
reservation,
motive.
he's
Ulterior
expecting
motive.
something from you afterwards.
That's what I'm saying.
So to be
That's what I'm
careful,
saying.
but now, like that mother said, you guys are you're expecting him to pay for your expensive date without even expecting something. It's almost like, oh, that's a guarantee that that's going to happen afterwards, but you got to feed me first. Do you know
It's
what I
only-
mean?
Yeah.
Right. It's only because
Yeah.
times has changed.
Yeah, you ain't gonna better win for losing, boy.
No. We were
Times
told not
have
to go on those expensive dates because he's
Right.
expecting the
You
more
gonna
money
expect
he
something afterwards.
spends, that's right.
That's what I'm saying. He gonna be expecting something else. Exactly.
Right.
I didn't pay for your meal. I didn't pay for you some drinks. Then you ain't giving up the woo. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I was also told to drive my own car in case you needed to leave.
In
Out
case
of
you
a,
need to
Yeah.
leave.
Or
yeah,
have taxi money, have Uber money or something like that. Now
Yeah,
and
it won't
that's
maybe
be
what I,
Uber
taxi,
money.
Uber.
yeah,
But
My
back in the
father
day, it was
always
taxi
told me
money.
that.
yeah,
Yep,
and
Monty. My
yeah,
father always told me that. Exactly what you just said. My father has
Yeah.
always told me that.
and my
Always
daughter, we
remember
make sure she has her
that.
own money. So if you're
Yeah,
going on a date, you make sure you can buy your own food
That's
on
yeah.
that date. Sometimes make sure you can cover both of like I'm not a person who says the man has to pay the woman. We can go half and half. We can talk about it. So, sometimes he might not be able to afford that date, but might be a great guy, so you pay this time, he pays the next time. But that could be just me, but because I've known my guy since high school, so he hasn't always had money like that. So we'll split it. What do you guys think about that 50-50?
Oh, she going somewhere else.
I honestly don't try to enforce that.
I just believe in picking up
There's
each
been
other's slack.
th-
That's what I believe.
there's
Like,
been there's been time when I've gone on dates and the person tried to pay for half and I don't want them to. I'll tell them no. And then there's been times when they insisted. And when they insist, then obviously I'll back down because I don't want it to, all of a sudden, like, what we going to do, get into a fist fight? So I just, back down and when they insist and then they insist. But sometimes people have done it and I'll be like, nah, and they hurry up and snatch that thing back. So they snatch it
Yeah,
back
yeah.
too quick. Like I can tell, like, okay, you was just fronting on that. You just,
oh wow.
you just trying to see what I was gonna do, or you change your mind too quick.
They was like,
So,
you ain't got to tell me twice. True.
right, boom, they take that
What
back.
What do you think about that, Pat? Not the first date, of course, but what do you think about
Yeah,
that
I don't think on the
50-50?
first date. I don't think you should be if you're not in position to. Number one,
Mhm.
like if you're again, I think it's levels of where you're at. Right, when you're younger, it's cool. You can have that. It should be. We figured it out. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we both know we ain't got no money. We trying to get our careers and stuff going. We trying to make some money. Like that should be a mutual understanding. But this new day and age is trying to make it seem like the guy got to have all of this stuff when he's
Right,
in the process of building. And if
right,
y'all both are in the process of building, it should be some type of understanding there. And I think those aren't the conversations that's being had. But ultimately, as the guy, you want to be able to show that you're being more masculine. You want to take that lead. You want to show your position that of protecting, providing. That you want to have that type of position. And if you're going to show that, you got to try to be that. And at some point, I think it kind of transitions once you start having a job and all that type of stuff. But then I think it changes again as you get a little bit older. That independent woman, she wants to show that she's like how some of the encounters that Monty has had, that they want to show that they're there to support you too. So then you'll end up kind of having that yin yang type situation, and I think it kind of starts to it changes, it morphs multiple times within age gaps from being young, going into careers to being kind of a more mature adult on both sides. Um, I think it kind of morphs and changes. But I think ultimately most guys want to show that that's part of them being a gentleman. You know what I
right.
mean? Like that's part of them being a gentleman. And I think that's kind of where that position kind of lies with most men and them wanting to do that. Now I think it's kind of crazy when, a guy I'll see things now where a guy try to demand a woman to. Like I'll say things like, well, you gotta cash at me this amount of money for me to take you out on a date. Like I'll say
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that. Like God, that I feel like they're in some type of other position. And it's like you're telling chicks to do stuff like that. I think that's kind of weird, but that's kind of how some of them is moving now. That's kind of how some of them
Yeah.
is moving.
I think too, that's one element that we got to deal with that's a little bit different nowadays. That women are making more money than they ever were. You
Ever.
know what I mean? So if the women is making more money, then you guys are obviously trying to step up their game just a little bit more, or may have to, or may feel like they have to. Because it's not like you're like, oh, I'm coming in to save the day. Like if you're a woman that's making enough money to buy your own stuff, got your own house, got your own car, and all that sort of stuff, and then you coming along and your whatever your money is not, it's going to be less impressive than it used to be. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's just a different part of the game too.
Yeah.
The same amount of money is not this, doesn't go as far as impressing a woman these days. I can tell you that.
Yeah, you're gonna have a whole lot of it, like a crazy amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
gotta
not
be
because they're
almost
broke, because they have money.
right, right. That position is totally different for
Yeah.
Wow.
women. Now, what is it on the flip side for women? Like, what is it? How do y'all feel about it?
I don't agree with the I don't need a man thing, ideology, because I need a man. I love having a man around. So, but there are some women who are like, I can take, especially if you've been single for a number of years and you've been kind of taking care of everything yourself. You don't need the drama and the headache. Me,
Mm.
I don't agree. I need a man. I love having a man. I love having a man around. I need a man. But there are a lot of my sisters who are like, I don't need him. And you don't need him for what the men think you need him for nowadays. So, I don't know. We'd have to ask someone maybe
They
Jen.
say that.
Jen, you have that. You
They
have
say
that.
that. They
I'm the
say that until you.
I'm trying to talk over Monty. Jen,
no,
you have anything?
yeah, I'm the same. I want a man. I need a man too.
Yeah.
I'm not like this generation where I just give me a rose and I'm okay. No, don't play with me. I want a man with some rough hands and all that soft stuff. Don't give me no man with no love. No, I know you ain't did nothing in your life. You ain't changed no oil change. I don't want that baby hands and stuff like that. No, give me a man with some hard hands. Okay, yes, please and thank you.
Yeah, can go to the
Yes.
junk,
Yeah.
go to the junkyard if you need to.
Don't start. Yes, I'm all for it. I'm old school. I'm not this new generation. So of
Monty,
course I
what were
love
you
having a
saying?
man. I most definitely love having a man. I'm a hopeful romantic. So I love the romance. I love the dates. I love the walk in the parks. I love all of that. I'm not one of these bougie females that feel like you got to go to a 5-star restaurant. I know my worth, but I'm also not hard to please. You know what I'm saying? So
And
yeah.
that's a question right there too, though. Is the 5-star restaurant saying your worth? Like, 'cause that's been part of the
That's the problem.
discussion and conversation. Like is going to a 5-star restaurant an indicator of worth?
Or indicate how well the relationship is going to go.
Not at all.
Because
No,
No,
like
not
no.
at all.
if I can't take you to if I can't take you to let's say what do you call it, Fridays. If I can take you to Fridays, is my conversation gonna sound better at Ruth Chris than it did at Fridays? Or is
Right.
that gonna make me a better
No.
man at Friday?
Or
Right.
even Five Guys burgers. You know what I mean? If you're gonna go
Yeah.
get a
Look,
burger or something.
Right.
look,
It's either
a
gonna
meal
work
No,
or
is
it's
a
not gonna
meal.
work.
A meal
no.
is a meal. If I'm gonna get full, I'll take it. The conversation gonna remain the same no matter where you
But
go
that ain't,
to.
but that's not
Look,
reality
I'll
though.
take Chili's, Applebee's. Look, I am not.
Yeah.
Look,
But
a
that's
meal
not
is
I
a
like
reality.
meal as long
People
as I
are
get
weighing
full.
it. People are
yeah.
weighing it off of where you take them. Because that's what the
Mm-mm.
whole I
Exactly.
don't want to
I
go
know.
to
So we can't go get no Subway sandwiches
No.
and go to the park. You know what I
I
mean?
could
I
I
can't.
could watch
I
Sit
some
can't
out
eat
there.
football
Subway.
and I
conversation
could
gonna be
watch
the
I
some
same.
can't eat
football and have some
Subway.
fast food. I can sit on the
Yeah,
couch,
I can't
watch
do Subway
football,
though.
have fast food. I'm easy to please, like Jen said. But also, I don't
Right.
want a man to think just because I like those things. I would like for you to take me out sometime. We don't have to make reservations. But like Monty said
That
earlier, I don't want you to think I'm not that girl because I'm still that girl.
Mm.
But
right.
I'm also I think about can you take this person to your holiday party? Can this person Who is
Ooh.
this person around your employers? Yeah, we can go out on dates. That's flimsy to me. The whole yes, we're on a date. Oh, because I'm dating him. That's my man. Mm-mm. I want the man that can take me to his job and introduce me to his boss. I want a man that's the boss. And I want him to take me when he goes, you know, to his different, whatever he's doing. I want him to take me wherever his people are looking at him like he's the man. I want to be that girl. I want to be that chick with the man. So, and you don't have to take me out to dinner. We can stop at Chipotle while we drive out to wherever we're going. But I want you to know that I am impressive, and I'm going to make you look good. I'm going to be somebody that's looks good, helping you close the deal. I want them to look at me and say, you know, Monty, I was considering, or Patrick, I didn't really know about you. But now that I met who you decided to be with, I think I like you even more. Let's talk about that deal. Call me on Monday. I like her.
You didn't hit something on the head now.
I like her.
No. She has hit something on the head that most people don't consider. Literally, people don't really consider that. And I know she said it in a hypothetical situation, but I know she's been in these situations. And it's a real situation that most people either they don't realize or haven't experienced, because that's a real situation. Like people like, oh man, your characteristics is based on, man, who you choosing,
Who you date?
like who you choosing. So those bigger business deals or whatever, or other potential relationships that could be business or whatever, I'm looking at that.
Right.
And it's a huge plus. That's why you will see guys, they'll be like, oh man, you know, they're trying to find a wife or a major companion that's going to be by their side, that's compatible for what they're trying to go for, because that person is going to help elevate what they're doing. And that person, by them being by their side, them choosing the right person, puts them in a whole nother atmosphere.
And that's why you see some men, they get some money or whatever, and then they'll just leave their wife.
That part.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's, you've seen that.
Yes.
They all of a sudden they just switch it on up.
A meal is a meal. As long as you're getting full, that's all that matters.
That's right.
Yeah, they are materialistic.
Go ahead,
You can tell.
read that, Jed. Read what I think this is.
It all has to do with your mindset. Some women are more materialistic than others. Money can't buy love. It's the way you treat me is what matters. And that is the truth. That is the absolute truth. Money cannot buy love. And you can tell a lot of materialistic women. You can tell. You can tell.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to tell now. Before it was a little bit hidden. Now it's just up front.
Right.
So it's like the first thing you see.
Of course.
They're not even trying to hide it anymore. Like it used to be, where it was like, okay, well, you might find out, you know, after talking or whatever, you hear, you know, you wouldn't know right up. But now you see that a woman is materialistic almost by judging a book by cover. I can.
For sure.
If we gonna bring that up as the elephant in the room, let's if we got to keep it 100. We can go based off of statistics and data that most women are materialistic. The average woman is materialistic, and so and it's based off of data, not my opinion or my feeling or nothing like that. It's all based off of that, because and if you're looking at, and it's based off of the divorce rates. Majority of divorces is based off of money, financial problems, financial difficulties, financial issues. And so when you take the vows, right, it's like do that, do your part, you know, rich or poor, all that type of stuff. But it ain't really rich or poor. If brother down, he having a tough season, guess what? Exit left. Exit left. You know, so because the first one is money problem, the second one is infidelity. So if money is the number one issue, you know what I mean? People, oh man, infidelity. No, that ain't the number one issue. The number one issue is money. So we talking what's real. You know, that's the secondary thing. And majority of the incidents is coming from, and majority of women initiate the divorce. So they have more.
Can you fact check that, Monty?
Oh yeah, I know all that. I know all that for sure.
He is the fact checker.
I think it's at like 70-some% women initiate divorces. And And so, and majority of that is because of financial difficulty,
Mm.
or you have a financial gain. But that's why in divorces or people splitting, most women have more of an advantage or a position for the divorce. The man doesn't have a real position in divorce, especially if you have kids. She actually gets the alimony. She's gonna get like the all of that favored women. If it favored men, most women wouldn't initiate it.
Hmm.
That's why, you know, if you really look, you start breaking that thing down. Like if it benefited men, men probably would go and initiate it more. But they'd have a lot more to lose. So they'd be like, you know what, I gotta stick this out, or I'm gonna need to. We want to try to figure this out.
Yeah.
Women, they'd be like, oh, I can still have this, I can take that, I can go get this, you know, and I'm still gonna be good.
I
It's
saw
not a risk for
somebody.
them.
I saw somebody trying to make the point. They was like, you know, when Bezos got a divorce, and they was trying to make the point like somebody as rich as him, he couldn't even please a woman, and she left him and all this different stuff. And I was like, yeah, but if you Steve Bezos' wife, you know you leaving with $200 billion or whatever the heck she left with Chicago. Whatever it was, she left with like 50 billion, 100 billion, or something like that.
Yeah, she became one of the richest
So
people instantly.
right. So how hard is it for you? It's not like you're gonna leave an average dude and you got to go out there and struggle. You leaving with $100 billion.
Yeah.
That point what didn't make any sense. Like, oh yeah, well, even he couldn't. You know, he had all that money, but yeah, when she leaves, now she got damn near as much as he got.
Right. She ain't at a
She's
loss.
like one of the
It's
richest
not.
people in the world. Yeah, she's leaving and she just
Now,
giving
if
away
she was
money right
now,
now.
if it was like it was back in the day, right? If it was like, well, whatever you earned, and whatever he got, he
Yeah,
got.
or
If it
she,
was that way,
yeah,
she probably wouldn't have never left.
or she was leaving and whatever it was, her lifestyle that she's leaving now will not be able to be continue.
Right.
She could
Right.
continue her lifestyle that she's living now with $100 billion or whatever she ended up with. So there's no drop off. There's no drop off. She's
At
just
all.
getting rid of whatever headache that they had. I got rid of that headache, and now I'm living this billionaire lifestyle. Still,
Yeah. I saw somewhere where she said because he has, I mean, like Patrick was saying, we're leaving broke men. She left a rich man. But I saw somewhere where she said he wanted her to be his peace. And by that he meant sit back and don't say nothing while I cheat. So, and she said she couldn't go, you know, she tolerated it for a little while, but then it got a little bit out of hand. I mean, he literally had another girlfriend and a wife.
who is
So what do we
this?
think about that?
That's Bezos.
In that
Bezos.
situation? In
Yeah,
that
but here's the
situation.
thing: she didn't have to put up with that again because she could leave and get $100 billion. But if it was a
Yeah.
situation where she had to, she wasn't going to get all that money, maybe she would have put up with it. See, she didn't have to put up with it.
She stayed for a while though.
She might have
You
stayed for a
know?
little while and then just say, "Hey, okay, let me go ahead and cash out."
And the thing about with her too, like she was there from the beginning. So her situation is a lot different. They didn't get married into the billions, right?
Yeah,
He had a little bit of money, but she helped
She helped
help
them.
build his empire. So you know her situation is a kind of different than like whoever he ends up with now. Like they're walking
yeah,
into that
walking into
situation.
that. Or
Yeah.
Ooh.
you,
So
or you married to a professional basketball player or something like that, and you haven't made a single shot, you know, and you married them after they had already had that big contract, and you didn't play at all. You know, what I mean, you just didn't do anything. Those are kind of wild to me. How those people can walk away with so much money, but in their situation, at least you know the billions of dollars was made while they were together, you
yeah,
know. And
and
we
that's
don't know
kind of
how
how they
much
figured out, like
how
you
much
know
she
how
helped
it
that,
was.
but still,
She helped him build that or whatever. So it kind of take place in president where folks look at every scenario and situation. But again, at the end of the day, they're leaving at a much higher rate because of finances. And if the finances, obviously, finances wasn't a problem in the beginning, right? So you didn't tide it. So obviously, at some point, it took a turn.
yeah.
It took a negative turn, and in that negative turn, there was no thought process to get over that hump or whatever the expectations are, or it was, you know, it was all mushed together. And then now you got this big problem and the issue, and you just can't get over it. Then it's much easier to walk away. And then especially if you have cool kids, right? Like if you have kids, then it's easier because now you have the person is, we talking about a guy that's working, got money, doing all that. Then now child support and stuff comes into play because now you know that he's going to take care of that. You know, they're going to try to fight to make sure that the mom has more custody. You know, that type of situation. And then, you know, if there's a longer relationship, then you also have alimony. So
Wow.
there's a major benefit at that point, a cushion that that person has, and then there's no benefit there for the guy.
Right.
Zero. But for ladies, is the money an essential piece? Do y'all see, for I'm saying younger and older, is that now become the forefront of what women are asking? And we're having this conversation about, you know, we're talking about this young man and him going on his first date, and this conversation on a high value man and what that looks like and what women are seeking. Is that something that is a real thing right now?
I know it's a lot of conversations about it online. You know, six man with six figures, 6 feet tall, and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like this laundry list of things like that women have.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that
Brandon,
are your friends out there? Do you know any women out there with a laundry list or
Brandon said no, it
expectation?
ain't.
Was he
Go
talking
ahead.
about to that?
No, he was talking about the
I'm
other
not sure.
He
conversation.
was talking about something
Yeah, he was
else
talking about
Oh,
something
okay.
previously. Yeah.
earlier.
Okay.
What was the question again, Monty? What'd you say?
Is that do you know women out there with a laundry list like that? Is that a criteria? Money, or you know women out there looking for men who can take care of them or has X amount of money.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Women don't do that.
I know a couple of women that wants to be taken care of. Basically, I can't say too much, but yes,
You can't say
basically,
too
yes.
much.
Yeah, basically, there are women out there that would love to be taken care of considering their circumstances, and they carry themselves as such. And it's not just the man, it's people in general. If the people that you're around, you want them to take care of you, most definitely you're going to want a man to take care of you, because at the end of the day, you don't want to get up off of your high horse and do for yourself. You feel like the world owes you something. You feel like, you want everything to get handed to you. You know what I'm saying? So yes, they set such a high standard for themselves, and it's almost like, wow, like you, what are you doing for yourself that you can't do for yourself, but you want a man to do for you. So it has to start with yourself first. If you honor and you love yourself, why don't you treat yourself to the things that you want the man to do for you? You know what I'm saying? So yes, there are a lot of women out here that are sitting around wanting somebody to take care of them. Ultimately, they can't do what they want the man to do for them, but it's almost like, okay, so I'll just sit around and wait until that man comes along to do for me. So
Yeah, to
yeah.
me personally, I don't run into a whole lot of that. Um, I haven't had that issue. And I think it has something to do with the type of woman that I'm attracted to. You know what I mean? Like some of this stuff, you can kind of see it before you even, you can see that early. Some of that stuff is kind of written on their face. So I think that's why I probably haven't had a whole lot of dealing with that type of thing. I just don't. That's not the type of woman I was attracted to in the first place. And
Yeah, you
and at the end of the day, it's not every woman by far. It's not. The numbers are higher, but it's not every woman they're not all not every woman is gold diggers and looking for you to take care of them. So
I
sort
was
of
just about to say that. You could almost see that if they always digging in your pockets, asking you for stuff, and it's like, wow, you know,
yeah,
fresh,
you can see that on
fresh
the day
off the
first
fresh.
date.
Dang, fresh.
Yeah.
You just fresh. You don't even know me like that, but you are
Yeah,
asking me to, you know, for this and that, for that, and it's like, wow,
yeah, that
you,
reveals itself quick.
wow,
That
already.
reveals itself really
And
fast.
then
So
they'll throw hints at you. They'll throw hints at you. They'll get to telling you they sad stories and stuff, and
well,
they'll be hoping you, man,
Judge
boy.
Mathis called that pole mouthing.
Look,
Be pole
oh
mouthing.
man, my bills is paid, my rent
Yeah,
is
he's gonna be a pole
due.
mouther.
I can't afford to pay this, I can't afford that, and they waiting for
Yeah,
you
I
to say
sure need
you need
some,
help.
man.
You
My
know,
books.
they throwing hints at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like
I
if you
pay my
asking for
car
this,
payment next week.
how you asking me for this, but yet you at the bar? How you asking to do this, but yet you out here, you know, shucking and jiving and you know
I'm
tooting and
like,
booting it. You know what I'm saying? But you need your bills paid. You can afford to go
Mm.
do this at the club. You can go afford to go to this function, but how you need your bills paid? Because priorities is all messed up.
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. I remember I had a situation like that one time, and I was laughing. I started laughing. I didn't mean to, uh, but I started laughing, like literally. Because
It shows
I was hearing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Keith, yeah, that was the one. That was the one. Talking about the car broke down.
like,
Yeah, car messed up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pray for you. Send these
I
prayers
have a
on up.
so
man,
Send
I
do
these
know I
prayers
do
have
you
on up.
guys
but
I have a
I
question
have
for the panel real quick. Do you think that women are going to clubs seeking out men to take care of them?
oh
You
Yes
know
or
what?
no?
It depends. If you're in Bakersfield, it's
Nah,
gotten
you ain't lying,
worse.
man.
It's gotten worse, but I remember when I was in college or whatever, those years when we used to go out to LA, yeah, that LA was a lot different beast than Bakersfield was at the time. Like you had women in LA at the time, literally like checking your collar and see what the name
What's brand?
on your brand on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
question.
they were looking at labels. They were because you're in
Right.
LA and you have this little Hollywood type of mentality, like the Los Angeles Lakers might walk up in here, the Rams might walk in. Somebody might walk in here. They have that mentality of you never know who I'm going to meet today. I can meet a star. I can meet something. So
yeah, LA is
it's a
different.
lot different.
I'm from the
It's a
city, so
lot
I
different.
know exactly what you're talking about. Y'all know, because I'm from the city, from LA, and I know that's exactly how they are. They on you. They looking at your
Yeah.
bag. They trying to see if you got Prada. They trying to see if you got all of the big
They
high
know.
names.
They know
Yes,
all of them.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
They checking watches. They not playing. They not playing.
Right.
That's how they
So
are.
do men have a laundry list? Or when you go to a club, what are you looking for in a woman? And what's your like what are the items that are on a laundry list for men?
Yes,
Do
so
you
these
have
are your
something?
priorities.
Right. Yeah. Yo Keisha said, absolutely. Do men have something that they look for? Like Monty asked about a laundry list. We're looking for
Oh,
like a
laundry list?
tall man with money. What's on your laundry list for women?
If I'm
Oh,
going to a
mine?
club,
Oh, I'll let you go first.
if I'm going to a club, I'm not necessarily well, not now, but there was a time when I used to go to the clubs and I was looking for something, you know what I'm saying? And it was just based off of looks.
So yeah, someone said church.
Yes,
We could
Aretha,
change it. We
church.
don't have to say club. We could say church.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
you
If I'm
said
thinking.
going
you're
to church.
finding a man that when you go to church, what are you looking for? Is that what she meant?
Yeah,
Why
but
are
you
we
still
talking
gotta
about the
be
club?
careful in the church because there's a lot of sick people in the church.
No, she was
Don't
talking
be
about
ugly
women.
and
She was
broke.
talking about women finding a man at the church.
Yeah, you
Oh,
gotta be careful with that too, because it's a lot of wolves and sheep clothing in the church. So you do gotta be
yeah,
careful with the church.
because they know
You
the
got
women are there looking for him, looking
yeah,
for
you
a
gotta
man, a
be
good
careful.
man. So
Trust me.
Brandon said that his laundry list consists of you not being
You,
ugly and broke.
I'm
Yeah,
dying.
if I'm at a club, I'm going off of looks because that's all I can pretty much judge you off of at that particular time.
Right, in the club, yeah.
Yeah, like what else? How else am I gonna be able to judge you? That initial is looks, you know what I mean? Attraction.
I'm gonna be. I I'm looking for a lady that loves the Lord.
Okay.
So, I'm really not gonna find a chick that's gonna be in the club. If I'm finding a chick in the club, it's for a reason. I'm not really, it's not. I'm not trying to be nothing serious with you. If you come out to be something else, but if I'm seriously seeking someone, she definitely has to have a heart for God. And of course, you gotta look good. You know what I mean? That's a thing for me too.
Would you say she can't be no booger wolf, huh?
She can't be no book wolf, but you know what I mean. I do want to be attracted. You know what I mean to and yeah, that's got us. Some type of intellect, be able to have a conversation. That's important. Be a loving person. Being feminine. Don't want no bush type woman. So you got to have some femininity to you. You got to be soft.
Not Bush.
Yeah.
Bush.
You can't be all hardcore and you want to. Yeah, I don't need
Butch.
no man
What you
around me.
got on my
I want
drink?
you know. So the woman, she gotta have a little, finesse to herself and being nice and soft. At the same time, the intellectual part is important to me. Being able to hold a conversation, being able
And,
to have the wish to be able to do that. Everybody don't
yeah,
have that.
and that don't
The
mean
more you
like what
date,
you like how many diplomas you got on the wall
no,
either.
yeah, that don't matter.
Mm-mm.
It
Because
doesn't
there's a
mean
lot of
that.
stupid people that got degrees.
Right.
Yeah, the degrees don't matter as much. You get some people they can't have a regular conversation. They're just so intellectual that you can't really even have a discussion at
It's
that
too
point.
much.
Yeah, like they're so. I've had a situation like that. They're so gone in being able to even laugh at life,
Not
have fun.
Deacon
So it's
John.
like having that balance too.
Yeah.
You got to be a little. Because I'm a jokester, so you got to be able to have
Can't take
fun,
life too
laugh.
serious. Can't
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
life too serious. Can't take life too serious.
I just
Yeah.
can't.
And
No.
most people that I've dated, it's been funny because they'll see me in one light from a community standpoint, and then when they get around me, they be like, "Hey man, we ain't know you was like funny and like kick back like that. Like we didn't even know you was like that because you only see me in, I guess serious situations all the time. That's going on,
Yeah.
that don't require a laugh, right? It requires serious situations. Like so, but when people are around me, my everyday life, I like to laugh, joke, have fun during those times. So you got to kind of have those are kind of the thing that matter most to me. And from the caring part, with me having kids, that's a big portion of that too. By having a caring and loving heart. So and like with the stuff that I do, like most people they'll see, like my family with me, you know, majority of the events and stuff that I'm at, my kids and stuff, they, my girl, they rock it with me. I that's a big piece for me.
So no laundry list. Or was that a laundry list?
Yeah, I
That
think
was
that
a,
was my
that was a
last
That
list,
laundry.
man.
was a laundry
That
list.
was a laundry list.
That was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but main thing, as long as you have the heart for God, man, that's important.
All right, Deacon John. Come on, Deacon John. Come through looking and taking care of you, Deacon John.
Treat you right.
Come on. Come on, Deacon.
After you
Mhm.
give you them
Hey,
peppermint.
but hey, shouldn't deacons need love too, though?
Ain't nothing wrong with Deacon at this
You know what I'm
time. I like
saying?
to give
Deacon need
honor
love.
to God at this
Can't
time. I like
expect the
to give
deacon to
honor to
be
God.
at home cold in the winter time.
Y'all
I
ain't
like to
giving
give
Deacon
an
John
honor
no
to
play.
God, the pastor, Nicole Pastor. Yes,
I don't
Deacon
want the
John is
deacon
coming.
trying to talk to me. That's
Yes.
I
They
don't
need,
want
I'm
that.
telling you, they need
The
What if
that.
the
deacon,
deacon? What if the
the
deacon is
deacon
your
can't
type?
talk to you. How you go?
What? Why the deacon
I
can't
said
talk
the
to
deacon
me
can't talk to you.
if I'm single? Wait, but
I'm
I mean,
dying.
if we're talking about what you talking about, Patrick?
He said you
Patrick got
married. The deacon
jokes.
can't talk to
Say,
you.
You trying to get the deacon killed. You trying to get the deacon killed.
Take your glasses off so I can see your eyes as we discuss this.
You trying to get the deacon killed.
No, I mean, but the deacon can still try to talk to, I don't know. I just don't want him trying to talk to me. Even if I'm single.
So what the deacon got to do? He got to go to another city to find a woman?
The deacon go
Why the deacon can't get no love?
Me hollering.
People don't know he a deacon. That's what he didn't he tell him later that he a deacon?
Get that Baptist deacon. He go, now, son. Go get you. He gonna get you in there.
Hollering.
The deacon may be
He gonna
okay.
get
I
you
don't
in
know
there.
all the deacons in Bakersfield, so I apologize to the deacons out there.
I'm gonna get you on, B.
He said Deacon John gonna wrap you in that old quilt. You know how they throw that quilt on you.
Come here, girl.
They don't
You're
be
so
playing.
sugar.
They be so serious when they put that quilt on you for real.
Hey, listen, I gotta say, hey, listen, I was talking to a friend, and the brother, the brother, he was a holy man. You know, I'm a church guy, and he was wanting to play, Yolanda Adams doing, times of getting it on, and he was just a little too. He was a little too
Worldly?
too much. Yeah. Too into the church to where he couldn't balance love. You know what I mean? Every secular song, he couldn't play no Luther to set the
He
mood.
wasn't worldly enough.
Nah. He couldn't set the mood or nothing. He had to play church songs during the mood,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was
That could be tough.
It was a bit of a tough situation, man. It was a tough situation. Yeah, it's a tough situation right there.
Let Deacon John rub some of that honey on your teeth. Now, I like a nice pedicure. I wouldn't
Deacon
mind
trying
that.
to touch the bunions and all, huh?
Little
Deacon
oil
wants
on
to touch bunions. I don't know, Deacon.
Ah, man.
With my toes.
I don't mind some holy oil. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I let him anoint my forehead, but he ain't going to the feet. I don't know about that. I'm gonna let him anoint my forehead, but yeah, I don't know, Deacon. I don't know.
So you must have some ugly feet. You won't let
What's the problem with the deacon though?
Man, my feet, you done seen these toes. My feet done been out. All these events. Ain't nothing wrong with these feet. I got some.
What's wrong with the deacon though? Why the deacon can't get no love?
Deacon can get love, but no, not on these toes. He ain't. I'm good. He can pray over me. I'm gonna just let Deacon pray first.
I'm just thinking about the old school deacons.
He trying to lay hands. He trying to lay hands.
Oh, he better lay hands somewhere else, cause not on me. He ain't.
I'm telling you, got to be a deacon somewhere out there that you can get out with.
Man, why you
tell me
up with a deacon?
No, there's not a deacon in the world. There's not a deacon in the world that you would let touch your feet.
All these old deacons, man, in a minute they look
not
like
every deacon is old.
Them down and putting Pampers on them. I ain't finna mess with these old deacons with these. Man, no.
Why the deacon gotta be old? Why you gotta be
some
old?
young deacons out there somewhere.
Young deacons?
Y'all ain't been to church in a while. Y'all don't even know what.
I've never seen young deacons. I've never seen young deacons.
Talking about?
I've seen young pastors.
Y'all ain't been to no
not
church.
young deacons.
Y'all don't even know what's in the church no more.
Oh, so how old you got to be?
I've been to the church. Don't do me.
There's an age requirement to be a deacon nowadays.
No, I'm just saying you don't know who in the church. You don't know who in the church.
She never seen any old deacons, no young deacons.
I've seen a lot of young deacons.
You got to be 80 to even start.
I've seen some young deacons before, but they ain't leading the church. Trust me, they on YouTube. Them young deacons on YouTube. They ain't in no. They
YouTube deacons.
They YouTube deacons.
Hey, well, a deacon is a deacon.
A deacon is a deacon, huh?
Deacon is a deacon, no matter where he is.
Yeah, I don't know about if I could trust them YouTube deacons. They fake. I don't know about that.
Now you can't trust them.
YouTube deacons.
They ain't got no credibility. They on YouTube.
I'm not trying to defend deacons here,
Yes, you is.
but are you trying to say that ain't a deacon in the world that you would date?
I would, but I'm
You
just
make it
saying.
seem like every deacon got something wrong with them.
Oh my God! What
You make it
are
seem
you
like.
doing?
Don't do
You
them
make it
deacons
seem
like
like
that.
every deacon
I'm
got
just
something wrong
saying.
with them.
Don't do me. Don't do
Brandon
me.
said they're
Don't do
ordaining
me.
themselves now. He's like 3
Yeah.
years
No,
old.
no, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Brendan. I've seen for the last 10 years, okay, I've been seeing this. Like they have been ordaining themselves. They have been. And I've been even seeing it in a church here. Like, you know, all you got to do is attend a church for a couple of years, and now all of a sudden they calling you deacon. They ordain. Yes. You ain't took no classes. You ain't did nothing. You ain't went to no school.
Listen, you talking about the worst case scenario. Okay. Of course, there's bad deacons, there's bad everything. Okay, there's bad doctors, there's bad lawyers, there's bad
I'm not
police.
okay. I'm just not looking
bad-
for no deacon there.
I'm
Case closed.
just saying this. We talking about the good deacons.
I'm not
Okay?
looking for no deacons. Case closed.
We
We're not
don't
talking
want
about the
it.
worst
We
case
don't want a
scenario
deacon.
I don't want a
Monty,
deacon.
Monty,
Case
we do
closed.
not want a deacon.
I don't want a
Don't take a
deacon.
deacon. Don't
I
take a
look
deacon.
at
I'm
it.
good. I'm
We
good.
don't
Leave the
get-
deacons alone.
I'm good on a deacon.
Hey, she arguing, boy. You ain't
I-
gonna put no deacon on her spirit. You ain't gonna.
Man,
Right.
yeah, I'm not got time for no
I
deacons,
won't.
baby. Go hook Sister Mary up with a deacon. Sister Mary, you want a deacon? Because Jennifer don't.
You
Sister
looking
Mary,
for an usher, huh? An usher.
I don't want no usher either.
Hey, listen,
Not unless
they
it's
be
Usher Raymond.
they be squabbling.
No usher, no deacon, no.
They be squabbling over the old cats over there. You know,
They be playing too much. I'm good.
they be squabbling.
Yeah, they do.
What about
They
a
be
pastor?
squabbling.
What about a single, young, handsome pastor? Would you
Okay,
would
say
you
less.
mind being first lady of the church?
No. They put too much pressure on first ladies.
Yeah.
They put way too much pressure on first ladies. So
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that would be for me.
Mm.
No.
Brother said you don't want a deacon, you want Usher and Trey Songz.
Right.
Usher, baby.
Hey, I got a picture with Trey Songz already, so I didn't see him. I didn't see Usher too. I
Mr.
didn't
Take
see
Your
both of
Woman
them.
or
I'm
whatever
from
it
LA,
is.
so I didn't see them both. Remember the Vibe show? Usher
Mr.
was on the
Steal Your-
Vibe show,
Mr.
so I
Steal
was
Your
on
Girl.
that show. Huh?
Mr.
Steal Your Girl. You was with Mr. Steal Your Girl?
Oh yeah, I got a picture with him in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and,
it. Don't say nothing else, Jen. Don't say
Before-
nothing else.
Before Usher got famous, real famous, he was on the Vibe show. I seen him before he ventured off with Mr. Baby Oil, the Diddler, you know, before he ventured off with the Diddler, you know what I'm saying?
Mr. Baby Oil, that's his name now. Baby Oil.
His name the Diddler. They call him the Diddler.
Okay. In the pen?
Yeah, he the Diddler.
That's what they call him in the pen?
That's what they call him in the pen. You drop the soap, now he the Diddler. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't heard much from him lately.
No.
No, we ain't heard much from him. Yeah,
After
we'll
he
drop
figured out
back
he
up
couldn't
doing
get
trap.
out. Yeah.
I think I saw something the other day though. It was something they upheld something like one of his rulings or something that they was trying
Yeah,
to.
he ain't getting out. They ain't letting that brother out. He ain't.
No, he ain't getting out for sure.
He gonna spend all his money trying to get out. I mean,
Oh,
all
baby.
of it. They gonna make sure he spend all his money.
They gonna make sure he ain't got nothing but lint in his pocket.
But now you gotta question people that everybody that went to a Diddy party. Now everybody's questionable.
Exactly.
Everybody's questionable. Your motives, what you've done, the things you've encountered, all of that's questionable. Now, ain't that crazy?
That's why it was said that the homes who got burnt down were the people that were at his parties. So that's what was said. That's why they burnt them.
Oh, come on, Jen.
Hey, I'm just saying what they said.
Come on now, Jen.
Come on now.
Come on, Jen.
Wow.
You know I'm about to tear
Come on,
this
Jen.
shit.
Allegedly.
Come on, Jen.
Let's talk about it. So I can debunk.
Come on, Jen.
Hey, allegedly. I'm just
What
saying.
we doing? What we doing, man?
You know how many people that places that got burned down that was at the parties though?
How many?
Man.
How many?
Man, go look it
How
up.
many?
You a fact checker. You a fact checker, right?
No, you brought it up. I'm not.
Go
I don't
check
waste.
that facts.
My internet's broke. How many of them? How many?
He's a
know, you
conspiracy.
You got to go check the facts.
How many of them? Was any of them deacons?
Go check the
Let me ask you
facts.
that. Was any deacons there?
Yeah, Ursha's too.
Did any deacons get their house burned down?
It was
Yeah,
some
Usher.
Ursha's there
Yeah,
too.
Usher
You might as well throw them in. You must always throw all the conspiracy theories you can in there. The deacons was
I'm
there.
just saying.
The ushers was there.
Yeah.
Everybody.
They said TD Jakes was there. That TD Jakes had gone to.
Yeah, you know TD.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
his
that
house
was all
didn't
that.
get burned down.
His house got burned down?
No.
You know what he
No.
said? he told on himself when he said, "Have you ever been swallowed?" He told on himself, "Have you ever been swallowed?"
What?
I came with you. I can't with you.
Anyway,
Hey, go
Nah,
look it
okay.
up. Go look it up.
Anyway.
Play that clip of TD Jakes when he said, "Have you ever been swallowed?" He told on himself. He told on himself.
you know what is funny though? I've never seen. I've seen and heard the
Oh,
audio,
man.
and I've seen just that clip,
For
but I've
real?
never seen the full clip. What context was he talking about? Like, what was he
He
talking
was,
about?
Well, it was a sermon. It was a sermon.
yeah, it was a sermon.
I know,
was
but
literally
what
a
was
sermon.
he talking about for him
That's
to say
my
that? Like, I never
thing.
saw the.
He just be coming out of nowhere with his little sayings and stuff. Hey, but did you see when he
No,
had?
you don't just come out. Wait. You
But
don't
look,
just come out and say, "Have you ever been swallowed?"
but that's what I'm
Come out
about to
of
get
nowhere.
to. This is what I'm about to get to. This man had a police officer in the church dancing, and he was gay, right? And he's standing in front of TD Jakes, literally dancing and swaying and doing all type of stuff. That was questionable. And then it's like after all of this happened, we started seeing all of these clips show up about him and his sexuality being questioned. But we don't know where the swallow come from. That's what I'm saying. So his whole sermon just took a whole left turn. It took a left turn.
Are you trying to say he was having a normal service talking about the Bible, and just out of nowhere just said, "Have you ever been swallowed?"
It was leading up to, I guess, the sermon that he was talking about. Okay, so you remember Jonah and the
What
well?
you talking about, Jed?
You remember Jonah? You know
it
the
had
well.
to be some sort of
Okay,
context.
so you remember
to him
Jonah
saying
and the
that.
well? Okay, you remember all of that. You remember that, right? If you
So
know
he was
about
talking
the
about
Bible.
Jonah in the well.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if that's what he was saying, but he was talking about being swallowed up by a whale. So that's why he said,
Oh, that's what I'm asking. What was the context?
Go look it up, my guy. Go look it up.
After you know all the stuff that they talking about and all the Diddy files and
So have you ever been
the fire,
swallowed?
the reasons why they burned down the city.
Did not.
You know all the conspiracy theories.
Have you ever been swallowed?
No.
Okay, so he was talking about a well.
He meant by the well, Jen.
Yeah, but it's how they just broke it in half and they just started using that against him. Have you ever been
I get
swallowed?
that. That's why I'm saying is what was the context of what he was really talking about when he was saying
it? Was a sermon. It was literally a sermon.
I think this is the clip right here.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Because the conspiracy theories was getting thick.
Oh Lord.
I think this is just a clip of him saying that the swallow part.
Would have been
Man, I can't take this man serious.
swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you?
Yeah, that's not
what
the whole
is he talking
concept.
about?
But wait.
What is he talking about? I need to see longer.
He didn't even have
I need to see longer than that.
a time when you've been swallowed
crazy.
up.
It's overwhelming.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you
Yes.
gone through a time of
Yes.
swallowing where everything was
Yes.
overwhelming and you?
What?
I've seen that part. Like,
Yes.
what was he
Everything was
talking about?
overwhelming. And have you ever been swallowed?
Okay, whatever. I don't care.
Have you ever been swallowed
It ain't my
up?
Yes.
time, so whatever.
I'm not gonna play with him.
It was. I mean,
Wow.
they make they make most stuff into like some type of small memes and stuff like that.
I
Like,
know, but I'm just
they'll
wondering
probably
what
take something from this show and make it into a meme, something we done said or something.
man
We
is
change our tones and stuff. Yeah. But he
Have you
was
ever
giving
gone
a
through
sermon.
time when you've
How
been
we get on him
swallowed?
anyway? Well, because his house.
The house
no,
is burning down.
About his house.
Mm.
but his house didn't get. We was talking about these other people's houses getting. No, she was talking about the houses getting burned down.
Right.
She just said it was an Easter story.
It was an Easter story.
This is not the Easter story.
And that big swallow.
Have you ever been swallowed by an Easter egg? Or you ever been swallowed by the bunny? Have you ever been swallowed up? He did not have to say that like that. There was a time when you've been swallowed. Huh?
Man,
No.
that's great.
No.
Now,
This,
to end this conversation, I know we went way off track. Now, do we think the mother was right or was she wrong for trying to give her young man, her son, some guidance? And I guess the second part is exposing it to the world. Do y'all think she was right or was she wrong?
I
She
think
was
she
right.
was right,
She was
but she
right for
went
giving
about
him
it.
the guidance. Yeah.
She went about
yeah.
it the wrong way, in my opinion. I don't. I
I just
don't
think she overdid it.
agree. Yeah.
She did it good, but she just overdid it a little bit.
Yeah.
She overdid it. The advice was spot on because my oldest son, I've given him a lot of advice, especially advice about women. So she was right. She was actually she's just trying to lead and guide her son down the right path when it comes to women and not being taken advantage of. So yeah, I just feel like the internet, she overdid it. Even though she was trying to maybe give other men advice, she just did it, too overbearing.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I could agree with that totally. And
Yeah.
I think the way that she delivered it, I think it was paramount for it to go viral.
Right.
So more people can see the
Yeah.
message,
She could
and
have
because
said all of that. She could have said all of that, but her attitude or whatever or her
hmm
tone was just really, really, really like combative and feisty. So it led to a lot of people, if you read the comments, a lot of people saying like, "Oh my God, you know what? She need to just step back and blah blah blah," calling him a mama's boy and all that sort of things. But what if she just came on and just very calmly said that? The exact same
Right.
it,
stuff, but
it would
just
have
very
went viral.
calm. Yeah,
Yeah. Her
Yeah,
deliverance was wrong, but yeah,
yeah.
she could have
So
came
now
about
people are so now people are laughing at you as opposed to, you know what I mean, getting the message. The message is lost now to
Right.
some
I
people.
don't
Some
think that the
people
message is lost.
no, I just you didn't even let me finish. I said to some people.
Oh, okay, got you.
To some people the message is gonna be lost because they're just gonna be laughing at her and be talking about oh, she need to get off the internet and why she da 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 da. She need to let if you look at the comments, a lot of people were saying that as opposed to the substance of what she was really talking about because she ain't saying no lies.
No,
Yeah, but most of
and
the
I
people was
yeah.
think
talking about
those
her talking.
by it going viral though, I think some people are gonna take it. They won't realize it until later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
but you've heard it. It's almost like you've been able to. You was warned before, and sometimes you don't take heed to those particular warnings when they're presented to you.
yeah,
Right.
Especially try to educate that that
and,
a
and,
young
and
man or a
a
young
lot of
woman.
times it's all about the how you wrap that package up. Those messages, how you wrap them up, is very very important because there's some
Yep.
things that some people that we cannot stand as black people, right? That say, and I can say the exact same thing in a loving way to a group of black people, and you would applaud me. You were saying this brother is really,
Yep.
and then you get like somebody that we don't like say the exact same thing, and it'll be totally offensive. So
Definitely. Now
Mhm.
we'll end this conversation on some politics, some news that have come out. Namati got this thing talking about Elon is doing some stuff with these fellow employees, and folks don't get. We've been talking about people getting fired all the time. People just get fired left and right. Other reasons, this reason, that reason. We got a whole list of reasons folks just people is unemployed. And then they got the unemployment office messed up where people can't even access the money. It's just a jacked up situation right now for a lot of people. And it seems like Trump has put Elon in this type of position uh, of power that is, kind of putting people in an uneasy situation. So what's going on, Monty?
let's see here. Elon Musk says federal workers must justify their work or resign. So what he did was he sent out an email to every federal worker saying that you must outline what you did last week on the job.
It's
Outline
crazy.
all your tasks. And I think it needed to be at least 5 bullet points of what you did last week. And if you do not respond before Monday at I think 11:59, so before midnight on Monday, they're going to take this as a resignation that you're resigning from your post. This is through all federal workers. Now the thing about this, there are a lot of federal workers who have sensitive jobs where they can't say what they were doing, all last week. So some of those people, now the thing said, don't put anything in here that's obviously anything that's top secret. But even some people might, even knowing putting it out there what you were working on can be in itself something that you wouldn't want out there. So those people were told to stand down for a minute till we get some clarification on this. Because if you're working under a CIA, or what if he was an investigator for the FBI? It may not be
Yeah.
top secret information, classified, what's considered classified, but you don't want to put out an email that, hey, I'm investigating, TDJs, obviously, on something like that. I'm just
Right.
saying. I'm
That
not
is
saying
classified
I'm
information.
not saying I heard that
Mhm.
or some conspiracy theory out there like that, but I'm just saying it could be something that is not classified, but is a sensitive information that you don't want out there. So those people were told to kind of stand down a little bit. But what do you guys think about that? That he's actually demanding, if you're a federal worker, that you have. He's basically treating federal workers like he did people who work for X and people who work for Tesla. This is something he did there.
Mm.
But I mean, I'm trying to figure out like him having this type of autonomy and power to be able to just go into these subsections and just let people go. And I think that's where it's like, okay, are they gonna get tied up in all these class action lawsuits and all this type of stuff, which gonna cost us more money in the long term?
Right, because there is laws set in place to where one government agency cannot go into another government agency and make a firing or do any sort of thing. Like, you have to be fired within your agency. Like, somebody from your agency has to fire you. So that stopped people from just jumping agencies and saying, "Oh, I work for the CIA and I can go and fire somebody that works for the FBI." Technically the laws or the rules are set up where you can't do that. So a lot of these things are questionable whether or not it's ethical that he could even do it in the first place. But they're willing to do it anyways, and they're willing to intimidate people is the thing.
Yeah, that would be my other
It's
thing.
true.
Like, so are they gonna pretty much end up, even if that's the case, Elon putting the pressure on, or and Trump putting the pressure on their bosses to almost force them to fire them?
Yeah, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just think it's too much power for one man to have. I think it's way too much power
Yeah.
for him to have. And now I'm back to 2 shows ago when I said we knew it.
Yeah.
We knew this would happen.
Yeah, because it's not like you have
So,
they're not, what is it called, right to work states or whatever. They're not under that sort of thing. They can't just get fired for no reason.
right.
But they're gonna have a
Yes,
lawsuit just in general.
you gotta have a
Right, you gotta have a reason to fire
Yep.
fire a lot of these people in these positions.
Yep. Keisha said they the whole government right now. Lawless Republicans. Hashtag lawless hashtag Republicans.
yeah. It's kind of it's a weird situation to be in, because if you having majority of these people that's making these decisions, right? Like all of these federal jobs and all these people that are thinking that they have some type of security at some point, they're having good performance reviews, all these type of things. They're doing their job correctly, and we have these good people in these positions, and then all of a sudden we're just letting them go because we just feel like it,
Yeah,
you know. And then you're replacing them with who?
that's the point. Now
Like,
some of these people are getting replaced with Trump loyalists. And he's replacing them with, like they just put
and
the
that's
guy that
reverse DEI.
yeah, or the guy that they voted to be the head of the FBI. He's been like a staunch critic of the FBI and a conspiracy theorist for the last 6, 7, 8 years. And they just put him ahead of the FBI. So what kind of FBI are we gonna have now? We're gonna have a better or worse one. And you see this guy right here, this other story too. A guy who was from Black Americans for Trump. Anybody heard of
Hmm.
that group? Any members in here? No. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see this, but this brother right here, he denounced Trump. He was one of the leaders for Black Americans for Trump because his friend, one of his good friends, got fired. One of his good friends had a federal job somewhere in the deep south, and he got let go after 6 months. Now it's family. He talking about the man got family, the man got kids, and all this sort of stuff. So what's interesting about that is, like you said, we knew he was going to do these sorts of things. But see, this guy here thought that his people were safe. Now all of a sudden, when it affects somebody that he knows, now all of a sudden something's wrong. Now Trump can
Right.
get on TV all day long and say, "I'm going to get those people right there. I'm going to get those people," and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah."
Get
I
him.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what this dude sounds like, but it sounds
Yeah, that's
like
what he
he's like,
sounds like.
"Yeah, yeah, yeah." He sounds
Yeah,
like
he
one of those.
sounds
Yeah,
like
get
that.
him.
That's what he
Yeah.
looks like.
Get him.
Soon as one of his homeboys get fired, now all of a sudden he ready to jump ship.
He like one of them dudes that shake.
Right. You know what I mean? And
I'm
it
done.
goes back to what it goes
Yeah,
back
Cap.
to, if it's right for
Right.
somebody, if it's right for you, then it's, or the other person, it's got to be right for you. It's got to be the good. What's good for the goose got to be good for the gander. You can't say fire all those people, but then as soon as they fire somebody, you know, all of a sudden you have a separate opinion now, a completely different opinion than you had before. So
He look like one of them dudes that'd be like, "Yeah, buddy, you're gonna get it now."
right. You can see. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he look like one of them brothers.
He one of the
Yeah.
ones that be like, "Isn't that a big knee slapper?" Yeah, he one of them.
Yeah, He one of them ones that he mad that he got that big old nose like that.
I'm not gonna
Oh
hold.
my gosh.
He don't want that. He don't want that nigga
Yeah.
nose.
And so what he
Right.
thought was they were going to what they thought was that they were going to go in and meticulously do all this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Look at all the books and make sure, okay, where is this dollar right here being spent? Where is this dollar being spent? And they just went in and just started chopping heads off. And now, you know, they're finding out that some of their heads are getting chopped off.
Hmm.
Because the guy who got canned, he lives in the rural South, somewhere that you know voted for Trump. I forgot where they say live. I think it might have been even Mississippi or somewhere like that, where he got fired from.
Oh yeah, they gonna make sure they hit those spots. Hard and
Isn't
tough though.
It's Alabama. I'm sorry, not Mississippi, but Alabama.
power?
That ain't no better.
Yeah, that's where the guy's from, Alabama.
Oh yeah, he definitely sound like that. Why y'all doing all that over there? He definitely one of them.
He just they trying to abuse their power of authority. That's all. They trying to usher in the the new world order. That's what it is. They trying to usher in a new world order, and they trying to make sure that they can trust these right people that's there, because what they're about to do is about to be some scandalous stuff. So
Yeah,
they trying to
So
cut.
true.
Yeah,
They
because
trying to
Setting up.
once you
They
get
set it
your
up.
once you get your people in at the FBI, you know they fired a brother too. That was one of the heads of I forget what position he was over the military, and this brother was in a position that normally stays around when the administrations change, right? Once you get people in all these different places, your loyalists, when you really, really try to take over the government, now all of a sudden you're going to have less resistance. See, that's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's getting rid of all the people that's going to resist.
Yep, exactly.
Listen,
Exactly.
he looked like that brother. He looked like Steven from Django. That's what he looked like.
I'm about to keep shooting shots at this man.
He looking like Steven from Django, man. That's what he looking like.
I'm mad that you call
He
him
looking at all the he trying to monitor all the black people and then think that they was gonna come for him. See? For him and his people. He up in the big house. He think he up in the big house with them. Tells them, yeah, what y'all think y'all doing? Get in the line. Get in line. Get in order.
Yeah.
He wanted to
Then all of
What
a
did he say?
sudden,
What is that nigga? What did he say? What is he doing on that horse? Remember that? When
he said, what the he doing on that horse? Then he gonna say, he going in the big house?
Yeah.
He gonna sleep here? Now we gotta burn all the sheets and stuff. What?
Man, the slave, he literally had the slave owner have to, hey man, come on, stall him out. Give him a break.
Yeah.
Him trying to be harder, and then all of a sudden, it don't work in your favor at the end. But he looked like he one of them brothers. He looked like one of them brothers, and he looked like he hate himself. He don't like himself.
Yeah.
He don't like himself at all.
Yeah, the
Ushering
robots will be
robots.
here. Yeah, the robot that's a part of the new world order. All of that, the AI robots,
AI.
artificial intelligence, all that is a part of the new world order. All of that.
Now,
Wow.
Keisha also asked a question. Said, "What do y'all think will be the outcome, say in 2 years?"
Man, world
Martial law.
world domination. Yeah.
Martial law, because he definitely want to have martial law in. So I know they're going to be talking about martial law pretty soon. So curfews for everybody and all of that. They want to control.
Well, you know what's funny though? Weren't these the people that were always crying that was going to happen and that they needed all these guns to fight against? Am I
Yeah,
crazy?
right.
The people who voted this man in have been my entire life have been the people who've been crying about that particular thing, that the government was going to come do that to us.
Yep.
That's what is the most amazing, most crazy thing about this whole thing. They voted it in.
They sure did. They sure did. That's wow. That is wow.
That's how much they didn't want to see a black woman in that office.
That is basically it.
I'm gonna say a woman. Period. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I.
And that's true, because
Yeah.
that it happened before. So yeah, they didn't want a woman in that office.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Take that part out, Patrick, of what I said. Just rewind and take that part out. They didn't want a woman.
It was a black woman, but also just not a woman.
That made it double. That made it double worse.
Yeah.
But I think she made some mistakes in her campaigning that ultimately didn't allow it to be as close as it could have been too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because she overspent on stupid stuff that she shouldn't have been spending money on campaigning for, and like really trying to get the Hispanic vote, trying to get that white woman vote. And then her response was saying that she wouldn't do anything different than what Joe Biden has done. And he has a low acceptance rate, you know, of how people are liking the way that he's running the country. Like those are political, you know, I'm watching the political landscape. So it's like, those are political key points that I'm like, who is your analyst team that's coming in there talking to you and advising you on how to go and talk to the rest of the country?
Yeah.
It's like, those are key points that, you know, you trying to win. You ain't trying to, you know, do all this other weird stuff. Like, you should be trying to win. And that's the main thing. Like, you know, you gotta be able to hold your team and stuff accountable for that. Like, you can't never walk in if somebody's doing bad and say, I'm gonna do the exact same thing he doing. Well, what we want you for?
Well, a lot of but see, here's the thing though. They thought they were gonna
hate Trump so bad.
They don't want to talk about policy. Democrats don't.
Right.
They do not want to talk about policy.
Tired of this racist bull crap. We want to talk policy.
Yeah, see, they don't want to talk policy, and that's why they get stuck. In the end, we get stuck. They always get stuck playing. They always is in the position of playing defense. You know what I mean? They never go into offense. They're in the position of playing defense, and they do not want to discuss policy.
And I ain't like the fact she gonna sit up there and have Megan Thee Stallion shaking up behind and all of it. Like, come on, man. We intellectuals. Quit trying to put us in this box.
And go pay $2 million.
Come on, man.
What she paid Beyonce $2 million? She paid her $2 million.
She ain't even sing. She didn't.
That's what I'm saying. She just paid her. She thought she was gonna have everybody who like Beyonce that was gonna vote for her. That was the whole purpose. So
but that's the political landscape that we're in right now. Influencers.
I think she was trying to reach right. I was just about to say what Monty said. She was trying to reach the younger audience.
Yeah, that's how she did it.
You ain't gonna. That's the problem. They're not reading the room. The younger audience is way more smarter and intellectual than what they think. They're looking at the social media part. Mm-hmm. The ones that are voting are intellectuals.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, you got to go and tell them they're realists. That's why they like Trump. They don't want the political game, and they're not realizing that. They want you to speak truth and do what you say you're gonna do. Like, don't come with me pandering my feelings and my emotions. Tell me what you're gonna do what needs to be fixed and how we gonna do it.
And that's where they messed up. They haven't done anything.
Nothing. There's no policy they can show.
You have not done anything. So his message of these people aren't going to do anything for you works.
Right.
So what about the student loan? What about the student loan repayments that were
He retracted
taken
it.
up, retracted?
He retracted it.
Yeah, some people got it right, but a lot of people didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. The courts did, but a lot of people, like I got mine taken away. A lot of people that benefited
some
a lot of
people did.
people to get that taken care of. I think, I don't have my checklist, but I don't think it's fair to say that they didn't do anything. They actually did a lot for our community and for people. I think they did a lot for the people in our community who could help others who couldn't help themselves or didn't have a voice.
Well, here's the thing, though. There was a narrative out there that they helped the LGBT community more than they helped us. Right? And whether or not we can sit up here and do a checklist of, how many they helped us and how much they helped them or whatever, but it appeared that way. And people were running with that narrative. That narrative had more steam than anything else, that they didn't do anything for us. Yeah. Now I'm the type of person who's think like, hey, what can they really do for you? You know what I mean? Like, you got to get out there and get your own anyway at the end of the day. So I'm that's what I teach to my daughters. You know what I mean? Help is not on the way. That is my motto. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that print on the shirt. Help is not on the way. Okay.
It's not on the way.
So it appeared, a lot of people see it. People go off what they can see, because a lot of people are not bright enough to do the research to see, like, okay, how many bills were passed and who blocked these bills and why they weren't passed. See, that stuff, once they figured out that people wasn't smart enough to actually study all that stuff, they were able to just run with whatever message they want to run with. They're running with what people see. They saw gas going up. They saw inflation. They saw the deficit going up. They keep talking about the deficit going up, even though they done ran up most of it. They realized that people were ignorant and they're not going to do any studying. And they have very short attention spans. They have short memories. They're not going to remember that we blocked all the stuff that Obama tried to pass. They're just going to say he didn't do it. We blocked every single thing the man tried to pass, but then they come back a week later and say he didn't do this for you.
You mean Trump, right? You're talking about Republicans?
No, I'm talking about when Obama was in office.
Okay.
Republicans blocked almost everything that he tried to pass, right? Remember, he couldn't, couldn't do anything. Then they turn around and say this man didn't do anything for you. Because people forget that y'all blocked it all. They said vote for us because he didn't do nothing for you. Once they figured that game out, once I saw him start to do that, I knew we was in deep trouble. Because it was just like, they kept doing it over and over and over again, and it was working and working and working. Then I saw a lot of black people start saying the same thing over and over. And I just saw a trend of like more and more and more black people just all of a sudden just saying, yeah, they ain't doing nothing for us. They doing more for the LGBT community than us. And I'm like, that was sticking.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
And her campaign, I think also, if we're going back looking at the campaign and stuff, right? Like, Biden should have been dropped out. He already knows his cognitive skills and stuff. Like, he didn't give her enough runway to be able to even run properly.
He should have never ran for the second term.
Yeah, like, he didn't give her enough runway to be able to even run anyway. Going all the way into the summer and having 3 or 4 months to really, like, literally campaign as the person that's running. So she was at a disadvantage on both ends of him kind of just holding on for so long. And then, people, you have to prepare for something like a run like that. That's not an easy task. People try to make it seem like it's so simple, but it's not an easy task to run for something like that.
No.
And then the pressure of being the first woman, like all of that is paramount to that position, and then trying not to mess it up. Like, there's a lot of pressures that people ain't really pointing out that came with that whole situation.
Did you all think that was a strategic move, or do you think that she was as surprised as we were? Do you think she knew that this would happen? Like they had maybe spoken about it and it was more strategic than I'm dropping out and now it's a surprise to you? I think it was a little strategic.
I don't think they
his end.
planned to have him go that far and drop out at the last second. No.
You know?
I think they were trying to have him hold on because
Why would they do that?
he was
That'd
gonna
be the
beat
worst
Trump.
plan ever.
Yeah, he was still gonna beat Trump.
To do the whole flip, oh, this is what you thought. Now we're gonna flip it on you. Give you
Yeah, if that was the case, they need to all quit. If they came up with that plan.
really.
This is what I think that their plan was. I think they thought he was gonna be able to go in, get his second term, beat Trump again, which the numbers he still would have been able to beat him again. Then I think he was gonna die in office, and then she was gonna end up becoming president.
Yeah.
I think he probably would have died in that first or second year, and then she would have ended up becoming president. Because he's on a major downturn right now. Like if he was gonna be president, like it's so much stress on your body and stuff. Like him doing another 4 years, man, that's tough on an older guy like that.
Right. And they
4
were using
years.
that,
He
and
ain't
they
about to
kept
do
on,
4 months.
and they kept, and Trump kept running on that. This guy ain't gonna, pretty much, that this guy is too old. He's too old. He's too old. Which that was scaring people too. Like if he dies, and look who's gonna be the president if he dies.
Yeah.
Now he got a black woman in the office sitting in the seat, next to him, ready to go. You can't tell me that wasn't their plan. That that their little subliminal message that they was putting out there.
Yeah.
Not sometimes it wasn't so subliminal.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And those especially, women want to go.
Yeah.
They don't want another woman leading right now. Like it's
Yeah.
paramount. It's this whole woman movement and stuff like that they be saying, and it's like, well, where's the white women, the Hispanic women? All they telling you what they believe in.
And I don't mind. I don't. Okay, listen. We could have put a woman in there, and we could have put a black woman in there. Whatever. I don't have anything against that, but it's another thing to force this person in there. You know what I mean? They tried to. I think they did. They tried to force it in when it was a little bit too soon. Like they wasn't ready for it, and you see what happened. It didn't work.
That's why I said it was strategic. It was sort of like they're gonna hurry up and hand her to us before you can think about it.
Well, they tried to do the same thing with Hillary, though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't time to put Hillary, to put Hillary in, and they made her run, put her up there.
Because Bernie was beating her in the polls for the Democrat, and they still put her up.
Right. So they did Bernie wrong, and they put her. They did it then, and then
No,
they
they
came
did
back and
Bernie
said,
wrong.
They did him so wrong.
because they often go after what looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like this is gonna please our base to put a woman in. It's
Right.
time. It's ready. It's time. Well, we wasn't ready. You know what I mean? It and it didn't work.
Yeah, Trump and Biden are only 4 years apart, but Biden is his health is declined. You could still be
His
close
health
to
declined.
and your health still
Trump
can be
still
different.
healthy.
You could still your health still could be different,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's just not in good health.
Well,
Yeah.
Keisha, a lot of people don't believe that. What do you mean? Yeah, a lot of people thought that she was gonna win. They believed
I
it.
didn't think she was gonna win.
Man, they just use that woman for a
And
pawn.
imagine this. I don't think people realize. Like, think about this. Trump beat 2 women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like he had to go. He went against 2 women. They thought it was the perfect timing because they thought him being this racist guy and all this type of stuff. They tried it again. Like America is not ready to accept. And I'm gonna tell you, is white women and is Hispanic women are not ready to have a woman lead. The numbers in the poll show that. I did a live after the elections and showed like the breakdown of numbers. Literally, I showed it on the screen so people can see the breakdown of the actual numbers of the percentage of people that voted for during this last election. I also did it when Hillary had ran, and it's white women and Hispanic women are not going to vote for a woman to run the country. And I think America is not, and I think the Democratic Party is just not looking at the data and the information of accepting that. And it's not that it's obviously he beat a white woman and a black woman, so it ain't a race thing.
Yeah. And they
So
and they drastically underestimated him too.
big time.
Twice. Twice
Yeah.
they underestimated the man.
Well, I knew he was gonna come back. The Bible already talks about him coming back. So look, I already know.
Uh-oh.
Biblically speaking. So yeah, that's the only way the prophecy is gonna be fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? So he doing exactly what Bible talks about. So
Said the world don't want
Wow.
he said the world don't want a mommy, they want a sugar daddy.
no, they
You out
wanted
of
that.
pocket.
They wanted that check. They thought he was about to give out some more checks. That's what they thought.
He
They
said
wanted.
they want a sugar daddy.
They wanted Uncle Daddy Trump. That's what they wanted.
They want a deacon.
They wanted Uncle Daddy.
I was just
Deacon.
about to say that they wanted a deacon.
They wanted that Uncle Daddy Deacon Trump.
Deacon
Come,
Trump.
come through.
Deacon Trump.
Deacon Trump.
So you
They thought he was about to
what you
pass.
say you need a little gas money, you need a little gas money.
Yeah, a little sprinkling a little sugar on his little gas money real
It's
quick.
all right, you need a little gas money. I know you need
Yeah.
gas money.
Give
Keep your
you a little,
computer, you know, get a little gas
give you a
money.
little Happy Meal and hit you on your booty and send you on your way. Yeah. Here you go.
Not hit you on your booty.
Look,
You didn't slip that in there.
Stimulus daddy.
little stimulus daddy. There you go. Don't forget the deacon. Stimulus daddy Deacon Trump.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw some people saying that too. Well, Trump gave us money,
That's what they wanted.
gave us a stimulus.
Yeah. They wanted
So
that.
what was that, like $500? What it wasn't.
Yeah, I was like, y'all got happy over a couple dollars.
Right.
But it wasn't
I
even
don't
him.
know.
It was the other. It was the previous administration that approved it, though, wasn't it?
That
Or
was
it was
Whitmer.
a. It was
they set it
a
up.
no.
Yeah.
But it was a Democratic Congress, whatever that set it up. That voted for
It
it.
was already set up.
Yeah. But it was even so, it was like $500 or whatever.
That's a car
Yeah,
payment.
but-
They wanted that they said they needed their bill paid for that month. They
Yeah.
needed their car payment paid.
Now look at you.
Now look at you.
Now look at you. $500 and you done sold your soul. That's you barely getting the roof crisp. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
You ain't even getting you
Way
a
more
going
than
to Roost.
they didn't get no root good.
That's not even dinner for two at Roost Chris for one time.
That's wild.
That is.
Mm.
I'm
That
hollering.
is wild.
Mm.
But we appreciate y'all tuning in once again to another episode of He Said, She Said. We're going to go ahead and allow y'all to get connected with us. Go ahead and tell us T, then Jen, then we'll close out with Munch.
You can connect with me via email at t.franklin@yahoo.com. And it's been a great time with the panel tonight.
Persevering Jen, it's always great to be on a panel with good people discussing news and everything else. Y'all can get in contact with me at Persevering Jen on all platforms.
And you can get a hold of me at Monty C. Wilson on Facebook and Instagram, and my new Facebook page, 64 Soul. The number 64 SOUL. I'm also on. I also have a YouTube page, 64 Soul too.
Let's go. Of course, it's your man, Patrick the Game Changer Jackson. You can hit me on Instagram, PJ Game Changer. Also on Facebook, Patrick Jackson Jr. And also follow the pages, The Game Changer Show, on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and of course on YouTube. Make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe to those pages so that we can run these numbers up. Appreciate y'all tuning in once again. And if you want to be a potential person on the show, you can go ahead and hit my inbox or email us at thegamechangershow@gmail.com. We'd love to have you on potentially if you got something to say. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another great episode with some good folks. We're always having a good conversation. Yeah, your hearts ain't coming through tonight. I don't know what Monty doing.
Monty
He doing a triangle.
I'm not doing that.
Oh no,
that's a heart. That's a heart.
Who turned the
There
hearts
you go.
off?
There go the heart. There go the heart.
You see him?
All right, we out. Appreciate y'all.